Hello guys, and welcome back again to the channel. So this is your girl Andy React, and on today's video we are going to be having the people of the AriseTv in the studios as they take us around the world in what is trending, guys. So please do all to stick around, like this video, watch it to the end, subscribe to the channel if you're yet to subscribe to the channel. Meanwhile guys, for those of you that have been asking about the people, the Lady Ayo in the AriseTv, you've been asking of her whereabouts. Where has she been? Guys, you could see her and her husband Ayo Mairo Eseglos in maternity photos. By this you already know why Ayo has been absent from the studios, guys. Yes, so Ayo went on maternity leave, guys. All right guys, let's take a look at what is trending with the people of the AriseTv as Ojiope is absent at the moment. Let's take a look, guys.
We will celebrate with you.
I mean, I couldn't be happier in this moment because I know she'll share her story, but they have quite a testimony and a journey to share. And I know it will encourage many people and inspire many people as well. But can we just talk about how she was still coming to work every day?
Yes,
effortlessly, flawlessly executing. I've also been pregnant on the job, so I know it's tough to come and sit in this chair with all the aches and pains and your body is getting bigger and all sorts, but she did it so gracefully. So I know most people don't even know, they couldn't even tell that you know, she was going through the journey. So congratulations to her, and again, just so proud of her for carrying this this journey in such an elegant way, such an effortless way. Slay mama.
Only in the way that I can.
What I say to you, Mr. Penyon, you are long overdue for the next one.
Oh my God!
I have.
The Lord says, "Go ye and multiply."
Multiply.
I mean, I have a lot of joy in my heart, and like Vimbai said, there's always a story, you know, and we thank God that this story came out well.
Yes.
And the truth has to be said. In life and in all of our endeavors, there is always a reason to thank God, and Ayo's testament is indeed that of joy. And as her name implies, and like Oji would like to call her Ayo Midi, Ayo Tidi.
Yes, so I love it.
And we will constantly celebrate. I'd spoken to her, you know, while this journey was on. I can't wait, you know, to get the babies in my hands. I like to carry. And
Rufai is good at that.
I just want to love on them and run around with them.
We can't wait to have you back, Ayo. We really do miss you. But let's move on now and take another story, this time coming from Borno State. In a bold and emotional move to save one of the state's most vulnerable towns from falling into the hands of terrorists, Governor Babagana ZULUM spent a night in Mate, a border community near Lake Chad. Now, before ZULUM's arrival, the village was completely deserted following a Boko Haram attack last Friday, with thousands taking refuge in Dikwa town. Let's take a look. In the same breath, speaking to journalists on Sunday, Governor ZULUM emphasized that his visit was to foster community cooperation, resilience, and continuous support to the security agencies, stating that Mate was resettled about 4 years ago, but unfortunately, over the last 3 days, it was ransacked and displaced again. Let's take a look, come back and discuss.
20,000 people have left Marte to Dikwa. This is very obnoxious to the government, to the federal government, as well as the state government. Because this huge number of people is a threat on itself. But alhamdulillah, we came back home. And then yesterday we spent a night here, you have seen, with the support of the Nigerian army. With the support of our gallant civilian jet hunters and vigilante, we are back here in Marte, and then the communities are now resettled for the second time now. So far so good. You have seen we have strengthened the resilience of the community. We have increased the numbers of civilian jet hunters and vigilante in order to complement the efforts of the Nigerian army. The Nigerian army has also increased the workforce that are residing in this town, and we have taken many measures that need not to be explained here because it's a security matter.
Definitely, just looking at this, I definitely applaud the move by, Governor ZULUM, and just the fact that he's been appealing to the federal government to deploy decisive strategies that would ensure that the Mate town doesn't fall, to the Boko Haram group, and going there himself to actually lead the logistics and, find a better way to make sure that this insurgency comes to an end. I'd like to get your thoughts. Rufai.
Governor ZULUM, I must have to confess, is such what I call a champion leader, and he's a champion of his people, constantly doing a lot of work to be able to, stabilize that area. But I think everybody should listen to him. And Dr. Abati, your article was very apt today. Because you see, isn't it shocking that we don't even talk about Lakurawa any longer? We are back to the days of Boko Haram full on. And areas that were taken back, people were resettled there 3-4 years ago. Now we are going back to those bad days. I'm happy he has deployed some level of logistical reinforcement with the civilian JTF, which I was also have to give kudos here because they're doing a good job. And the military that is there, we need a lot more reinforcement. Also, air reinforcement, a lot of reconnaissance going out there, and probably a capacity building measure to be able to take the fight to the insurgents through very, decisive covert intelligence. Yeah. That's what is needed at that point in time. And keeping vigil, and also get the people to be vigilant, and get the people on your side, because the people also will be able to give you that intelligence because they know those that are coming in and out. Most importantly, you wrote about forest, gas today, which is also a very welcome development, because the problem has always been we have large swaths of land. That border you are seeing is borders of European nations. We've got large swaths of land. How can we try as much as possible to be able to get effective policing on those swaths of land? That's where the forest guard you were talking about today comes in. And how can we ramp up that deployment and say, okay, how can we put boots on the ground to be able to create these buffers?
Yeah.
Most importantly, you now need another layer that I call economic empowerment. You cannot devolve all of this. The quick recruitment of fighters by Boko Haram can also be linked to the poverty in that area.
Yeah.
So how can you bring back all of this, fighting against the poverty in that area? Economic empowerment is key at this point in time. Also, you need to now start the propaganda machine. The federal government, and we are also ready to report the great stories of what is being done by the federal government, but also the local communities there. You need to recruit people that are very influential in those communities to be able to tell them that this is not the time to run, this is the time to stay, this is the time to come together. And anybody that tries to propagate the activities of those bastards, I can use that word, insurgents, because these people are ruining the fortunes of Nigeria, against our people, they should be taken head on, because these people are bastards, and I will use the word, God punish them, shame on them. I feel very passionate this morning, because this is livelihoods being destroyed, and we need to be hard on these people once and for all. Boko Haram insurgency should not have a place in our community and in our country in general, and this is the time to be hard on them. So it's time to turn on the propaganda machine. Get the kids back to school, because you also need a lot of education. Get empowerment on, provide hospitals, provide, amenities of government in there.
Necessary infrastructure. Very passionate words there from Rufai, understandably so. Vimbai, what are your thoughts?
Because it's heartbreaking. This is something that we had gone a very long way in overcoming, and here we find ourselves again. But because we have been able to make progress in the past, it means we can do it again. Yes. So there's hope there. It's not a helpless situation, and that's what I love about this governor, is that many governors would sit at home and cry foul, and earlier I said they would grant press conferences from Government House, from the comfort of, of wherever their fortified settings are. But this, I think I'll use the word uncommon. I know uncommon is normally used for somebody else, but this uncommon governor is going to the grassroots. He's going to the eye of the storm. Now, my question is, imagine how much more Nigeria would prosper if all of the governors could face not just insecurity, all of the various crises that we're seeing in various parts of the country. If all the governors could spend more time with the grassroots, analyzing the situation. And not just this, I also like that he's faith in action, because he also declared a day of fasting. I like that it's not just we're going to fast. We fasted, but we're also going there and we're going to see what we can do on the ground. And this is really where faith, the rightful place for us to position our faith. It's not that, okay, we are doing prayer meeting. No. I love that. But the one thing that I do question is that recently in an interview, he did divulge that 300,000 ex-Boko Haram fighters have been reintegrated into society. Now, this has happened over a period of 3 years. So we now have to ask ourselves, this policy or this strategy of trying to rehabilitate ex-terrorists, is it working, and what are the consequences when you put the timeline together with the resurgence of what we're seeing now? And 300,000 is a huge number. That came from him. I don't know whether it's confirmed or verified, but that was the number that he used. Yes. So we do need to revisit this policy of rehabilitating terrorists or ex-terrorists, whatever they may be.
All right, then, Doctor.
Okay, Borno State has 27 local governments. Out of these 27 local governments, the only local government that has not been overrun before now was Mate local government area. And now Mate local government area has also been overrun by bandits, insurgents, terrorists, such that 300 towns and villages in that local government alone have been overrun. 20,000 people, the only community that is still standing, Mate, 20,000 people had to flee to Dikwa. And now Governor ZULUM has gone there. Now, all of that narrative, it reminds us, one, of the fact that the battle against insurgency has not been won. Two, that there is a surge in insurgency, and it is not just in Borno State or the whole of the Northeast, it's also across the north and other parts of the northern part of the country and other parts of the country. Number three is that the governor has stepped up to say, okay, let me go there and give the people of Mate confidence so that they can be resettled. Now, does this say something about state police? People have been arguing for state police, that these state governors, they should be, if we have the likes of ZULUM, they should be chief security officers in the regions, even if the Nigerian Constitution does not identify them as chief security officers. Number four, you refer to prayer and fasting. That Governor ZULUM, yesterday indeed, declared that the people of Borno State should pray and fast. Well, I have a different opinion about that. Look, when Nigerian leaders can't solve problems, they try to use religion as cover-up. They carry all the problems. They say it's God that will solve it. Now, we blackmail God too much in this country, because it's not God that is causing this problem. It is the failure of leadership. It is a failure of all these, their kinetic, non-kinetic, security, architecture, what other phrases, funny phrases do they use? So this will be a wake-up call. And that's why Governor ZULUM is calling on the federal government to collaborate with him, that he is ready. He needs the help of the federal government. When he made a similar appeal in April, middle of April, he was told that he was exaggerating the situation. Now this is clear confirmation that the battle against insurgency still remains to be won, and that the Boko Haram has not been technically, defeated or decimated, or whatever phrase that they use. And I hope that the federal government will take, what Governor ZULUM has done in good faith, drawing attention to the emergency in the Northeast, and not just in the Northeast. I guess from Borno to Yobe to all the other states in that axis, help is required. And the people of Mate and the people of Northeast, they deserve to enjoy the privilege of Section 14 sub 2 of the 1999 Constitution. which says the primary duty of government is to ensure the welfare and security of the
life
people.
and property of people.